So here we are on day 10. It's so funny because it's been like a minute. But it's fascinating on how you have to. Pardon me as I take a drink here. It's fascinating on how you have to take a moment and really become present in what has happened and what you're feeling at that moment and what is like the position that you're in. And I wonder sometimes if we don't do that enough, where we stop and really take an assessment of the position that we're in. Like here we are, it's 10 days into this for me, day 10. Now, that's not even halfway through this, supposed to be this 28 days that we hear about recovery. So, what is day 10? Like, do I sit there and go, oh God, I got 18 more days to go? Or do I realize that what if I don't need the 18 days? What if this is like my day 25 for me? And so I just really, or this maybe, how do I know this isn't day 28? Because I could live an entire program in 10 days. So, because the way I'm feeling now is a very interesting place. I don't know if I've been in this place before. It doesn't feel familiar. It's different. It's like it's working. This is working. I don't know, I'm just feeling in a very different place. Uh, so I went to the manicure yesterday and I got this color put on and I did something different. And it's interesting whenever I do something like this, whenever I decide I'm going to do something different, it really puts me in an extremely out of my comfort zone experience. Like it's funny how I do this to myself where I stretch myself all the time. So when we were at the nail salon yesterday, they had um these mood nail polishes. So I saw this color and I decided I was going to put a color on my nails. And that was a big assessment that I did on day 9. Um which I did not include because there was an assessment of what I thought would be pretty. And I am also what I thought would be me, and I'm trying to experiment with what I think about who that is and what that is. Um, and I don't know if this is it or not. This is a very interesting experience because I wanted to go with the maroon, and I'll show you what happens that when the color is warm, it changes. You have two different colors with this nail polish. So here, this was the color I liked. Hang on, I gotta cool it off if I could do that. I don't know if this is cold enough to do it. Okay, so I don't know if it'll show it to you, but it turns a really deep maroon color. That might work. Hang on. Can you see it now? Wherever I touch it's cold, it'll turn that dark color. And my thought was I'm cold all the time. Of course. I'll have the dark color because if you have spent any time with me, you will soon discover that I have professed that I am cold all the time. And so what do my hands tell me? My hands tell me the exact opposite. And so here I am sitting here with this whole picking thing, and I'm having my realization right now that I have told myself my entire life that I'm cold all the time. And I've lived that way. People have been that way. And look at my hands. They stay in the warm color all the time. And the only time they turn cold is when they're like out in the air where it's colder outside. But as soon as I come inside, within minutes, they go back into being red. I figured that I would have to warm them up myself, and they would be the dark color all the time. So I learned something else about my hands in the process of this, or that I'm starting to change, that as I'm having my degree of safety or something, that as I'm becoming more happier, I'm becoming warmer. Like, not necessarily warmer as in hot flashes or etc., because I haven't had any of those either, but just comfortable. I'm becoming more comfortable. I'm starting to feel good. I'm not feeling better because being cold all the time doesn't feel good. And so now I'm starting to feel better, even though now It'll be so good because I've been able to talk this whole thing out. Uh, it's funny how it can affect you physically. It'll be very interesting to see how I feel on day 11, because in my mind this needed to be said. Anyway, so the whole time I was dealing with that, I totally forgot that I didn't tell my husband that I was having a manicure. But I guess I figured that because I told on the video and he has been sharing my videos, he watched it, or maybe he forgot, or I don't know. Anyway, so um or maybe his reaction was interesting this morning, because it wasn't what I was expecting, but it wasn't anything that was wrong either. It was just different. And I have been, just like with the border guard and with the nail salon, I had a realization at that moment that I can really decide what kind of reality that I want, because I've done this before in this situation. What outcome do I want? Do I want a happy relationship, or do I want one where there are tensions? Because I could look at that he disapproved me, or that he judged me, or anything, because I have felt that before from other people, and I have been that way for other people. I have had that whole experience and that feeling before. Um and I thought, well, am I going to make that action look like that? And I thought, well, that he's not like that. If anything, it's his, and it doesn't matter if he was. I'm still not going to um use that as a method of a measuring stick of an outcome that I want. I don't want those outcomes in my life. I've had them and I don't want them anymore. And I don't believe that that's what the outcome was anyway. I don't believe that in him. So, in my mind, it was coming from I don't understand, because I have a very natural presence about myself. I don't wear any makeup. I don't do my hair in a way. My hair is done naturally. I wear natural stuff. I don't color my hair. Um, I wear very organic type of clothing, but it's very eclectic, but it's organic. I don't like I'm very simple but unique in the way that I dress, but it's I don't know, I don't wear jewelry. I often forget to wear my ring. So even when I had my nails, I only had a French manicure on. This I haven't worn nail polish in, oh wow, when I was in my MILF stage. That's another story. Oh, that was the birth of the name Jax. So it was a very interesting time. Anyway, I used to wear I had got my nails done, and I used to have I used to wear quite, um, I wouldn't say it was elaborate's not the word, but I looked really good. I did my makeup really nicely, and I did my hair really nicely. I was probably looking, I would say probably about 90% of the best that I could look from a perspective of where I was. Now I don't even, at that time, that was the assessment that I had. Now it's like, okay, I'm looking even better now because I'm shining from the inside. Now, if I can match how I felt, how my self care then, but for a reason where I feel beautiful for me, and balance everything, that's what I would like to do, because I felt beautiful then, but from a position of it wasn't beauty where I felt good about myself. I didn't carry it well. And even though yeah, I didn't carry it at all. It it was more of a hot, um and I don't know, for me it didn't carry it well. That vibration didn't feel right for me. I know it feels right for other people, and I'm glad that it does, and that's why it's great, because we don't all have to be the same, because we're supposed to be like a chord, not one single note. Like, look how many different like how many notes are on a keyboard. What kind of music would it be if there was only three notes? Well, I know that we have Jingle Bells or whatever that only use three notes, but the only reason we have all these beautiful is all this beauty, and this is the variety of music that we have. And we're all part of this music. And anyway. So I just wanted to explore. And I thought, okay, I'll try a color first of all, because I used to do this at one time. And this was a very comfortable normal for me. This was a normal of my past. And it had to do with my fingers. It was a part of my process. But um, part of my pretty hands at that time was very like elaborate. If you would have saw the artwork that I had done, and my toes were done with the same artwork of my hands. And there was a time where I did my own artwork. I had like 75 different colors of nail polish, and I did my nails regularly. You can ask my boys, because Morgan would pick out different colors that he thought was cool. That was a whole part of my nail care time. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? And I thought, okay, well, I'll try it. And I don't know, I'm not comfortable with it. And I think that's what my husband also picked up on it. And I showed him, I said something really cool. So he had a very perplexed look on his face. And I haven't really found out what that perplexed look was. But this is where the beauty of it comes, though, people. And this is where I'm beginning to understand on how you make the change. What kind of response do I want? Do I want where he comes home and he's like, I don't understand, or he judges me, or he's upset with me because I didn't tell him, or what was going on? Like, what kind of response do I want? And what kind of response am I going to get? And I'm not going to know. But this is where it decides on what am I going to do with not knowing. Am I going to create you know what? I'm going to be okay, because I'm going to think about what kind of response I do want. And if it doesn't turn out to be like that, that's okay, because this is the last time it's going to be like that. It's not going to be the same, because I'm not creating the same vibration anymore. It's going to be different, because I don't want that. And whenever I've made that decision, there's been an awareness that has come out when he talks to me next that shifts our relationship into a really, really cool space. So this is where the change comes in, because the next time can be different. And yeah, you know what? There may be a percentage of it that still sucks, because I have been vibrating this about men, about relationships, about people for a very long time. So the next time it could have still some of the same yucky feelings. Because if you have a mega wattage, there may be some residue. But it's not going to be 100%, because I'm stopped here at this place. And as soon as you shift and just think of something enough to stop, you've already changed it, because you didn't ever stop before. You're in a different place. And then you can read up on all that 1% and being in the 1%, because that's where you are. That's where I am. I'm in a different spot. When I saw all that skin, I had a choice. And don't get me wrong, there's still some residue of some residual stuff there in regards to that feeling. And I'm working through that. And every time I feel it, I again think about something that makes me feel better. Because you know what? Like when I saw that skin come off, and if you felt my fingers right now, they are absolutely amazing. There is no dry skin there. And it's when you feel it, it feels exactly what I always dreamed it would be. So I'm like, oh wow, maybe just maybe this had been the answer for me. And if I could do the manicures myself, I could always try. I've done that before. And if not, just have this done for myself. And it's amazing. It feels good. And then the feelings every once in a while about finances come in, and you can hear them on my voice, and my vibration changes, because there is a concern. And that's how it's like, just lift the vibration. And when you talk about it, because you can hear how your voice the energy changes. So, but this is where it is. The decisions at this moment. And this is where day 10 is. And I guess if you look at tarot and you look at cycles, and 10 is a very powerful number. Because there was like the 10 commandments, and there's, I'm trying to think what else is a number 10. But it just, like, math uses it all the time. The metric system is based on the number 10. It's just a very complete, solid number, and I think that's where number day 10 came in, and I don't know if there is actually needs to be a day 11, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Because right now this is a really good place, and I hope that with you, if any of you go through this, that you get the feeling of what day 10 feels like. That this is a very different place. It'll be very interesting to see what is created here. So, thanks everyone for joining, and we may see you tomorrow. We may not. Take care.